What if I tell you the world's real power is not just about armies and weapons? What if the most powerful force is not a single country but a union of 27 countries? Today we ask a simple but powerful question. Can the European Union be more powerful than the United States? Welcome to Gyan in English. For decades, the United States has been seen as the world's dominant superpower. Strong military, global influence, economic leadership. But today, global power is changing, and the European Union is a big part of that change. What does power really mean? When we talk about power, we often think about war and weapons. But real power is more than that. Power includes economic strength, military capability, political influence, soft power, and the ability to shape global rules. Economic power EU versus US. Economically, the EU already rivals the United States. The EU and the US have similar GDP sizes. But here is the key difference. The EU is the world's largest trading bloc. If a company wants access to European market, it must follow EU rules. And the euro is the second global reserve currency after the US dollar. This gives EU massive economic leverage. The Brussels effect. What is Brussels effect? One of the EU's most underestimated strength is regulation. This is known as Brussels effect. EU regulations like GDPR, competition law, climate rules do not stay inside Europe because global companies want access to the EU market. They often apply EU rules worldwide. That means the EU influences global behavior without using military force. Soft power and diplomacy. The EU is also global leader in soft power. It plays a major role in global diplomacy, development and humanitarian aid, climate leadership. While the US often relies on military pressure, the EU prefers negotiation, trade, and long term partnership. This builds influence slowly but deeply. Military power, the biggest gap. This is where the US clearly leads. US military spending is far higher than the European Union's. The US has unified military command and global bases. The EU is militarily fragmented and still depends heavily on NATO, and therefore the US for defense. In military terms, America remains dominant. Political unity, Europe's weak spot. The EU has 27 member states. This diversity is a strength but also a weakness. Veto power slows decisions, national interest often conflict, crisis response can be slow. This US can act quickly, the EU often debates first. Technology and innovation. The United States dominates big techs, artificial intelligence, global digital platforms. Europe has strong research and strong regulation, but it struggles to scale companies to global dominance. The EU leads in rules, the US leads in tech giants. Could the EU overtake the US? Yes, but only under certain conditions. If the EU develops a unified foreign policy, stronger joint defense, energy independence, technology, and AI leadership, then it could rival or even surpass the US in the global influence. Here is the truth. The EU is a potential superpower, the US is an operational superpower. America has speed and force, Europe has markets and rules. Power in the modern world is changing. It is no longer only about the biggest army, it is about unity, influence and control. So can European Union be more powerful than the US? In my opinion, yes, but only if it acts as one. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think the EU will become more powerful than the US? Or will America remain number one? Comment your thoughts below. Thank you very much for watching the video.